Hey, what's going on, YouTube viewers? Here I am again. Looks like I got a package today from CGC. I sent out about 20 comic books. I believe I have 8 in this one and another 10 that's coming back in the mail. So these are going to be some modern comic books. I have, I think, some Spider-Man, a couple Web of Spider-Man. I have a couple action comics, mainly just modern stuff. I'm waiting back on some graded slabs cards, CGC or CSG, I should say. But these are the comic CGC grading. So let me pull these out. I love how they package. They do a really great job with packaging and assembling the shipping order. Really great service. I really like their service. Hopefully they don't upgrade their prices on grading comics, because right now it's fairly cheap. So if you're going to be doing it, now the time is the time to start doing that, because eventually, as collectibles go up and the price of grading goes up, competition and so forth, they might raise their prices up. So just once again, those that have been commenting, thanks, and watching, awesome. Not too bad. This is probably like my 5th video, uploading a 5th video. I've had some other breaks, but I never uploaded them. But here we go. So this is going to be a Spider-Man 1 comic book from 1980. It looks like it's graded a 7.0. This is a comic book that I had laying around inside of my collection. See if I can move that light so it doesn't shine so much on the comic book itself. Not too bad as far as just an average comic book that I have that's been inside my collection for some time. 7.0, a little disappointed because I thought maybe it would get a higher grade. It left notes. It said that it has creases, a spine roll. I could see them from right here. The creases in the spine. You might be able to see them right there. There's a couple of the one right there. I try to press and clean my own comics, so I've gotten some pretty fair, decent grades. But then again, I have considered maybe trying to go through a cleaning company rather than CGC because of their price. So look at this one, has a lot of, look at all those wet spots. I mean, if I sent it in and got it professionally graded and paid, for the top-notch grade, I would have probably gotten a good grade, probably like a 8.5 or higher. But like I said, I don't, in my previous videos, I'm not into doing the water method of cleaning comic books because I'm afraid of damaging my comic books. But not too bad. It's a nice slab for 22 bucks. That's pretty much what it comes out to. The tier that I'm in is $22, so the shipping, it's only a couple dollars for each comic book. Our next one is going to be a Spider-Man Fasty Smile edition 1, and this is going to be actually the same comic from this one. This one is the silver edition, and this one is the Fasty Smile. I don't know really how to pronounce that other than FACS, which would be Facey Smile, MILE. I'll have to look up the pronunciation on that. But not too bad. This one came out at a 9.0. Now, this comic, I believe I bought this comic from a comic book store that was really, a unique comic book store in Sacramento. There's only a few of them in Sacramento. It's one of the big ones. I think it's called Comic World or something like that. Nature. So they take care of their comic books. I paid $40 for this comic book, but then it paid off. So I got a 9.0, and as you can see, it's pretty much a perfect comic book. I've never seen a 10 in any CGC comic gradings. The highest I've ever seen was a 9.8, and I've gotten fairly a lot of those 9.8s in my submission so far. So not too bad on that one. I think this is the same collection because there's different editions for this cover. So let's see if it's comic book Spider-Man number 1. Year is 1990, a 9.4. So once again, this is the this one is the edition one. So this one is the variant, so to speak, and this one is just the regular comic book. As you can see, the difference in the barcode right here, there isn't a barcode, it's Spider-Man's face. So I did the research on the differences between both these comic books and this one as well. There's a gold edition, silver edition, I believe. So I got both of them graded back 9.8, which this one is going to be worth a little bit more, I believe, and this one is just the regular Spider-Man edition, which came back a 9.4, which is not too bad. I also bought this one at a comic book store, but it was a different comic book store. I believe I went to Vegas. When I went to Vegas, I got this one at their comic book store. So not too bad. That's pretty good so far. I could have gotten better on my 7, but then again, like I said, as you see in the water spots, that could have cleared it up probably a full half a grade. And then my spine rolls and my wrinkles right here, because I did the pressing on this one. But all in all, a 7's not too bad. Could have been an 8. Does that look like that's scratched right there? It does look like it's cracked. If it's cracked, I might send it back right there. See how it's cracked? It has a hairline crack. This is probably going to be the second submission that I've gotten back, and it's been damaged. I will try to see if I can clean that off. It looks like it's a scratch though, so I might have to send this one back. Looks like I have a Amazing Spider-Man from 1992, issue 365, a 7.5. Now, this one should be an 8, but I screwed up big time on this one. When I was pressing it and getting it cleaned up, I thought I would be smart and, try to press it with the hot iron as I usually do, and I melted the foil. As soon as I put it on, I didn't put anything. I put a cardboard, a regular blank cardboard, a back cover cardboard over it, and then I put the iron on. And as you can see right here, it didn't do so well. So it kind of took up a lot of the foil, and I think it crinkled it right here. There's a spot right there, and so right there, see, you can see the black from the cover. So this is a really expensive comic book. I didn't get as far as paying too much as far as the cost of what it's going for. I only paid like probably $15, I think, and I got 3 other comic books with it. The 30th anniversary issues. I got the red one, the green one I think I submitted, and I got this one for $15. I came back with a 7.5, and I'm really disappointed in myself because I'm learning on ironing and pressing. I'm learning from my mistakes, so that's kind of good. I mean, if I come across this comic book again, I'll probably pick it up for a reasonable price. You could pick it up for eBay, $30, $40 in good shape. $60 to $80 in mint condition, but at 7.5 is not too bad. I should have got at least an 8.5, but once again I scuffed up the foil and I messed up with ironing. But not too bad. 7.5. The no watermarks. Looks pretty good though, as far as the cleaning that I did. But once again, I used iron, and for the lack of judgment, I was wrong, in the wrong with that. I have a 6.0 Amazing Spider-Man, 1993 373 issue. It's a pretty popular comic. I picked it because of what's the market is going for this comic book. Not too bad. 6.0. It's not a 5. But one of the key issues, as you can see in the wrinkles right there, I have wrinkles, creases, spine roll once again. Obviously, you can see it right there. There's a dent in the comic book right there where my thumb is. So these are little minor issues that I need to consider, why I need to consider about maybe getting a grade service for some of my comic books, because sometimes I just, I'm an amateur at grading, and when I submit, I try to do the prepping work myself, and stuff like this, I have no idea how to get out these stains without damaging the comic book. That's a big watermark right there, A lot of people probably wouldn't even submit that. But it's in the case, and my goal is to submit my comics and get a lot of graded stuff in, and maybe 10 years I can have probably well over 1,000 comic books graded. That's my goal. So I have a Web of Spider-Man issue 100, 1993, coming back as a 8, and this was the other comic book that I mentioned with the 30th anniversary that I gotten for $15. This one was included. So yeah, I picked these comic books up at the flea market, cleaned them up, the best I could. Spine roll probably right there, creases right there. But this is a giant comic book size, so it's a lot thicker. I got an 8, not too bad. White pages. It actually came out okay. There's a little scuffle right there. Indentation of decoloration of the comic cover itself. It's a holographic cover. The back's pretty fairly okay. But once again, these are comic books that I submitted myself and, cleaned and prepped myself. So I just think I need to take a little bit more consideration on submitting more cleaner comic books, more pressed comic books. Another Amazing Spider-Man, 375, 1993, at a 9.2. That's awesome. So I got a fairly decent grade on this one. The 9.8 is going for roughly around $300 on eBay. The 9.2, I think the 9.2 is going for about $1 or so, a bill, $100, and so forth. I seen an 8 going for $60 or so. So this is another 30th edition comic book that I had received with that other one for $15, a 9.2. I love the anything over a 9 is great for me. When it comes down to grading scale, anything over a 9 is awesome. I like to keep them and collect and keep them, as far as not selling them. I just like to keep them for a while and watch the market. So nice comic book. The spine, see how it has spine creases? Those are really hard. If anybody has any ideas, techniques, shoot me a comment. Or even if they know somebody that does some cleaning services for comic books, I would love to check them out at a reasonable price. I wouldn't mind paying $15 to $20 if, like, for instance, on this comic book, I would have paid. But I mean, if they're not going to do their job and I still get a 9.2, it's not worth it. So I cleaned it. I kind of pressed it. I got a 9.2. That's pretty good in my, opinion, for not really having that much cleaning experience. I have a Plastic Man Adventure 1980 5.5. This is probably going to be another comic book that I tried to clean and didn't get that far as perfection. It looks like, maybe my heating on the hot iron is not to its fully potential of getting the best out of it. Right here, I used an eraser and it kind of took the color away in this E, right there too as well. So there's quite a few objectives that I need to um, get through as far as trying to make my cleaning process and submission process a little bit more easier. However, I'm really happy. I got a 9, I got an 8, I got a 7.5, which should have been an 8.5, close to a 9 without that crinkle. Not too bad on this one, it's a 7. And I have well over a 9.8 and a 9 on this one. So yeah, let me know what you think on how my process is going with submissions and how other techniques can be applied to utilizing the comic book CGC submissions, as far as their service, other people's service, and so forth. So catch you guys later. Bye.